One of the questions we get about estate planning from our clients is this: do I need a trust in Georgia? Well, the answer is maybe, maybe not. Technically, no one needs a trust in the sense that you absolutely have to have it. No one's going to force you to have a trust or make you create one, but a trust is a great tool to use in the right situations. How does it work? Well, here we're talking about a living trust plan, a revocable living trust plan. And in a nutshell, you create this trust in your lifetime and you move assets into it, taking the assets out of your name and putting them in the name of the trust. Now, while you're alive, you're fully in control of the trust. You can modify the trust. You could even cancel the trust if you want to. You can take assets out of the trust, put other assets in, use them however you want to. But when you die, the assets are owned by the trust and not by you. They're in the name of the trust and not in your name. So therefore, those assets are not going to need to go through the probate process to be able to be transferred to your loved ones. Instead, your successor trustee steps in and manages the trust in accordance with the terms of the trust that you set up. Why might a trust be a good tool for you? Well, if some of these reasons resonate with you, a trust might be the right approach for you. Here's some of the common reasons that folks use trust-based planning here in Georgia. The first is simply time. If you want to ensure that your assets are available for your loved ones as soon as possible after your death, a trust may be a better option. While the probate process in Georgia has historically not necessarily been burdensome or expensive, it is time-consuming. A probate case in Georgia can routinely take at least 6 months before the assets are going to be able to be transferred from the estate of the decedent to the heirs or beneficiary, and that's regardless of whether or not you have a will. Probate can take some time, and in some cases it may go on for more than a year. Using a trust can help avoid such a delay and get your assets into the hands and control of your loved ones much faster. For this reason alone, many people may view a trust as a better option for their estate planning. Another common reason that people use trust is they have a blended family, and a trust can be a good option here where the trust maker can ensure that their spouse is provided for after the trust maker's death, and then assets are left to the trust maker's children from a prior marriage. Another reason that people use a trust is because of privacy concerns. Some people simply want to minimize the probate court's involvement in their estate or eliminate it altogether and maintain a certain level of privacy with regards to the distribution of their assets and their plans. And a trust can help this because a trust is generally going to remain private and avoids the probate court process. Still, other people have concerns about protecting the inheritance they're leaving to their children, trying to protect it from the creditors of their children or a child's spouse in the case of a divorce. And assets that remain in the trust are afforded some degree of creditor protection for that beneficiary. Another reason that people might use a trust plan is to help plan for a future incapacity. A trust can be beneficial when anticipating a future incapacitation due to some serious illness or disability of the trust maker. The trust is going to bypass the need for a conservatorship typically, or the need to have somebody manage assets under a power of attorney, and the successor trustee can just step in upon the trust maker's incapacity and manage the trust and the assets and look after the trust maker. One more example is out-of-state property. If you have property outside the state of Georgia and that's not in a trust, then it's likely that you're going to have an ancillary or a secondary probate where you have a probate of your assets in Georgia, but the Georgia court can't deal with title to real estate in another state, so there has to be a secondary probate proceeding going on in another state. And in many states, probate is not necessarily user-friendly and quick and easy and inexpensive to do, so that can be a real savings to use a trust-based plan for that. So those are some common examples of situations where a trust might really be a great tool to help you accomplish your estate planning goals. But if you use a trust, you've got to go all in and do it right. You actually have to fund the trust, move your assets out of your name and into the name of the trust, and manage it in accordance with that for you to get the real benefit and value out of doing a trust-based plan. Otherwise, you have a great tool that's really not accomplishing much of anything. Now, if you want more information on estate planning in Georgia, visit us at our website at peachstatewills.com. Click on free info at the top and request our free guide to estate planning in Georgia. Or if you're ready to talk with a trusted and experienced estate planning firm here for help with your situation, call us at 678-344-5342. Thanks.